This is Winston. I've had Winston, I don't know, for a few years, and I remember, I said I was going to do a common point immersion with Winston, okay? And so that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you how this works, okay? It's real simple. Remember the levels of immersion were lift, breakthrough, clarity, certainty, progress, and then rest, okay? So if I'm sitting here, y'all probably think I'm nuts, but I'm not nuts. This is really an amazing philosophy, and Winston's going in state already. It's an amazing philosophy, and you can do this with a bunny. You can do it with your kitty. You can do this with your puppy dog. You can do it with a tree. You can do it with running water. You can do it with the sky. You know, common point immersion can be utilized with anything. Okay, so I know you get, this guy's crazy. You know, he thinks he can communicate with a rabbit. Okay, I'm not communicating with a rabbit on a human level. I'm communicating with a bunny, my bunny, on an immersion level, on a natural level, on, you know, just nature. Okay, so if you're focusing on Winston right now, he's chilling out, and he's got one of his claws in my arm. Anyway, his back foot. But if you focus on Winston as I'm petting Winston, okay, what is happening right now? He's just going into his zone. He's going into his own little space. He doesn't have the awareness we have, or the consciousness we have, or the ability to understand why he feels what he feels. He just knows that he feels pretty cool, okay? So what Winston is going into, he's going to that first state of common point immersion, which is lift. He's like, oh, I'm just kind of floating, just kind of, hey, this is cool. And then as him and I sit here and I can just close my eyes, I can pet my bunny, you know, I can pet my bunny, and as I pet my bunny, and the bunny feels me, and I feel Winston, Winston goes deeper into that state. Okay, he goes into a breakthrough. There he goes. See? Oh, clunking out, Dad. I'm loving it. I'm going there. I'm just loving my dad, loving what you're doing. And then once you go into a breakthrough, which we are there together, okay, I'm with my bunny, that source energy between me and my bunny, we got that connection, okay? We go from the breakthrough, and then we go to clarity. Clarity is like, oh, this is cool, this is amazing, this is neat. I love my bunny, and my bunny loves me, okay? And we're in clarity. Clarity meaning that on a human level, on my shoulders, on my level, as far as a human being, clarity is like, I get it. I'm connected to this beautiful, beautiful animal, and he's connected to me, and he trusts me, I trust him, and we're in state. We're just, oh, that's really cool, okay? And then from clarity, we go to certainty. Certainty is like, me, Winston, John's my dad, John loves me, John would never hurt me, John feeds me, takes care of me, I am so deep in that state, I'm just a big marshmallow. I'm a giant marshmallow, I'm Dad's marshmallow, and we love each other, okay? So from clarity, on both of our levels, actually, on both human level and animal level, or bunny level, if you want to call it, we go into that state of progress, which in the deep recesses of my mind, in the deep recesses of his mind, without him even being aware of it, he's gaining knowledge. And you say, well, how can a rabbit gain knowledge? Well, knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge is instinct, okay? So there's a lot of instinctive things that he's going to tap into, okay? Fear, he's losing his fear about being around me. He's building trust with being around me. Those are the bunny instincts, okay? But on a human level, we recognize those as well, but we also recognize, like I said, on a human level, we recognize as far as progress, how important it is to be connected to nature, to be connected to Winston, my beautiful bunny. If you notice, Winston has a it's moving his nose. He has one black spot on the very end of his nose and some black on the very tips of his ears, okay? But in the very tip of his nose, he's got an ink spot. And you can see it. It's amazing. So we'll reach progress, and progress is like, that's my dad. He loves me. He feeds me. He's going to be with me. I trust him. He's my buddy, and Winston's my buddy, okay? So from progress, we go to rest. And rest is basically like, oh, we did it. We had a great immersion. We connected. We're together. There he goes again. I'm going back into state, Dad. There I go. I love it. Oh, it feels so good. I love my dad. Oh. And anyway, from progress, we go to rest. And so rest is like, I'm just chilled. I'm chilled. So to rehash this, I'm probably going to have to get up and leave the video and put Winston back in his home and then come back and continue this video. So there might be a little bit of a jump edit in it to get this done. And yeah, relax, John. Lower. I was a little concerned with Winston how he would do this, but he's doing great. He's like, he's there. I'm loving it. I love my dad. I'm loving the scritches. I'm getting scritches from my dad. So the levels of state are lift, breakthrough, clarity, certainty, progress, and rest. Okay? Lift, breakthrough, clarity, certainty, progress, and rest. Lift, a little bit of lift, I'm connected. Breakthrough, I'm there. This is amazing. Clarity, I could see everything. I'm clear on everything. I'm clear on what we're doing. Certainty is absolute, without doubt. This is amazing. This is an amazing process. This immersion really works. Okay. And then from there, progress, like I said, is knowledge. You get all kinds of knowledge. You get wisdom. You get understanding. So, and then from there, we rest. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go put Winston down because I don't want to stress him out. But I don't think he's stressed right now. I think he's really. Maybe we can just. We got bunny hairs everywhere. So, like I was saying, not just with Winston. Let me give you a good. There you go. There's Winnie. Not just with Winston, but you can do common point immersion with anything. You can do. Let's say you're sitting on a river or a stream, okay, and you're just sitting there, and you close your eyes, or you don't have to close your eyes. You can look at the shimmering water. You can look at the water on the rocks. You can focus on that process, and you will feel a light lift. It's not a big to-do, like I say. I mean, it can be sometimes, but it's a basic, like, I feel a little connection, okay? And then from that connection, you feel a bigger connection. It's like, wow, I'm literally connected to nature. I'm connected to a living thing. And that living thing at that time would be the stream or the river or the water, okay? And then from that breakthrough, you go to clarity and you see things brightly. You see things with more color. You see things with more depth, more insight. You see the clarity of what's going on around you. From clarity, it brings you certainty. And that certainty is like, I totally get this. I totally get it. This is amazing. I'm part of nature. I'm part of the world. I am remaining human. I'm remaining organic. I'm remaining extremely real, okay? And then from there, you go to progress. From progress, you go to rest. And rest is like, yeah, I did it. I'm good. And When you rest, all the knowledge just kind of seeps into you, all the knowledge that you gain from that, all the knowledge and wisdom and information and connection you gain from that immersion comes when you rest. And I've said this a lot of times in my other videos. You don't gain any knowledge, and you don't gain any strength, and you don't gain any progress until you rest. So you can study. We'll use study as an example. You can study for hours, but you won't see any progress until you shut off the switch. You say, I'm not going to study now. I'm going to go do something completely different. Close the books, walk in the park, come back, then you'll notice the progress, okay? It would be the same thing as if you're in the gym and you're working your butt off, and you're doing this every day and every day and every day, and you don't see progress. You won't see progress in the gym. You see the progress when one day you'll just look in the mirror and go, oh, I see progress. You only see progress when you rest. Progress comes when you rest, physically and mentally. It doesn't come during the process, okay? I mean, of course, it's like if you're driving down the road, you see progress because you're moving, you're going from one point to another. I'm talking about if you're doing like an immersion, or if you're trying to gain some knowledge, I would say most of the progress comes when you rest. I learned that when I was studying music and I was in college. I'd sit there and I'd beat my brains out playing piano for hours in the piano practice room, and I wouldn't see any progress, and I'd be very frustrated. And then I would say, okay, I'm just going to give this a break, and I am just not going to do anything. I'm not going to practice for a while. When I went back, I saw all my progress. There it is. I see my progress. Another simple analogy would be Christmas tree decoration. So you're decorating the tree. You know, oh God, this is taking forever. I'm hanging up the bulbs, putting the lights. I don't see any progress. But all of a sudden, boom, the tree's done. It's lit. There you are. So back to Winston. And I think he's pretty chilled out. Aw, I love my bunny. He's my buddy. He's my buds. He's my buds. Anyway, Winston went into lift, connection with me. And then he went into a breakthrough. And then he went to clarity, certainty, progress, and rest. I know. Y'all probably think I'm nuts. But this really works. And I use it for so many things. I use it for study. I use it for working out. I use it for... This philosophy is rooted really in everything that I do. As far as my workload, the way I work on my videos, the way I structure things, the way I structure my day, everything is around these principles, and these principles work amazingly for me. So give it a try. I mean, you have nothing to lose. I mean, you say, oh, this guy's nuts. You know, well, you know, I might be nuts until you realize it worked, and you go, oh, this guy's a genius. And I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm just saying that I discovered this many, many years ago. I was, like I said before, I grew up religious, Catholic, and all this kind of stuff back in Tarpon Springs. And I used to literally back in the 70s, I would say from 71 to maybe 75, when I lived with my mom and dad, or was still living with my mom and dad in Tarpon Springs, we had a huge piece of land in Tarpon Springs right off of Lake Tarpon, and we had a cattle ranch. On the cattle ranch, we had back property. We had like 40 acres pieces and 60 acre, plots of land that were all wooded. And we would just go back there. I mean, I would just go back there and walk to the woods. And I'd look at the cypress trees. I'd look at the orchids. And sometimes I'd see maybe a wild panther or maybe a snake or a deer during my walk. And during that process, it just kind of came to me one day that I'm immersed into nature. And what is this all about? What's this connection that I have? And anytime I would go back there or go walking through that wooded area, I would get that connection. I'd get that lift. I'd get that breakthrough by looking at a deer or looking at, even a gopher turtle walking on the ground, or looking at the trees, or seeing the breeze go through the trees, or the sunlight coming through the trees. All these things you can utilize as far as that immersion. And I didn't call it immersion back then. I just thought I'm just connected with nature. This is kind of cool. So from that point on, I decided to really kind of experiment, and I would just sit there in the middle of nowhere and just focus on something. I would focus on a tree, or I'd focus on a piece of ground, or I'd focus on a bug or a flower, or the sun coming through the leaves of the trees. And I'd feel that lift. I'd feel that connection. I'm going, what is that? So I kind of called it lift, And then I would see deeper things. I'd recognize more in my environment. And that to me is like a breakthrough. It's like, wow, that's pretty cool, And then once I got those breakthroughs, no matter what I did or what I was looking at or focusing on, I started getting clarity. And I'm going, God, I feel so alive. This is really cool. It's like with Winston right now. He's just out like a light. So I'd go from that clarity. And then from that clarity, when I was walking around, or I would leave or start to leave that area, I'd have certainty, knowing that if I came back to this location, or did this particular immersion, which I didn't call it immersion then, this particular like meditation, I would get certainty. That certainty, I would know there would be certainty there. I can go back to that anytime. And then from that certainty, when I went home, or walking home, or I got home, every once in a while just pop into my head, even when I was going to school or riding my horse or whatever I was doing, that progress would hit me. Like, that was an amazing experience. What did I learn? I learned so much from that, And like I said, that progress, you don't notice that progress until you go into the rested state. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm driving to school, or I'm in class, or I'm with my girlfriend, or we're having dinner with my parents. I'd all of a sudden have a realization, and that realization would be that progress. Like, that was so cool. That's amazing. So anyway, I'm going to put this on with my videos of remaining human, because this is really critical for us to remain human, is having a pet. And you can have a Winston. You can have my Winston. He's mine. You can have a Winston. You can have a puppy dog. You can have a cat. You can have a fish, a turtle. I don't care, what it is. But human beings need to be connected to live things. And that human connection, or remaining human, will be emphasized, or it will be, what's the word I'm looking for? Not emphasized, will be, oh God, I'm stuck on a word here. Winston, help me with the words, I'm getting stuck. When you have a pet in your life, and no matter how simple it is, it will bring you closer to nature. It will bring you closer to a live essence, a live element. Okay? And I'm not calling Winston an element. He's my buddy. But you will remain human quicker, or you'll maintain your human essence if you have a living thing around you. And if you're not somebody that can have pets, have plants. Okay? You can put spider plants in your house. You can put orchids in your house. You can put many kind of plants in your bedroom or your bathroom, or you can have a terrarium with cactus. You can even connect to them. You can that life essence, the life essence that I'm talking about, that source life essence that I'm talking about in my book, and I'm talking about in my immersions, and I'm talking about today, is in everything. That life energy, that life essence is in Winston, it's in me, it's in you, it's in every living thing that exists. So find that connection. Like I said, it can be a pet, it can be plants, it can be water. Even if you have a waterfall, or a little waterfall in your house, like a fish tank or whatever. Just connect to nature every day. Try to find time to connect to something that's completely organic, completely natural, away from all the plugins that we have. And you will help yourself stay in the path to remaining human. I love you guys. Winston says, I love you guys. And Winston is shedding like crazy. That's what Winston does. It's this time of year. Bunnies used to shed about 2 or 3 times a year. Love you guys. This is Remaining Human, the 4th episode. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. Winston, what do you think? Should we leave them? Should we go? Should we go away? Yeah, doubt, I guess. All right. So, up there, over there, wherever you want to look around. Yeah, Winston's shedding like crazy. Anyway, Winston, say goodbye, okay? Bye, guys. I'm in the zone. I don't care. All right. We need to get the flippy and shut the flippy off. Yep. Oop, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to poke you, baby. We're good. Thank you, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, check out my latest instrumental. You'll love it. It's doing very, very well. Thank you very much, everybody, for being so supportive with me on everything I'm doing. And figure out a way to do a common point immersion, and I'm telling you, it will change your state and most likely change your life and keep you focused and directed. Love you guys. Hang in there. And we're going to push the button. Ready? Ready? Ready?